Hello everyone, my name is Biswas Singh and I welcome you all at Uruvela BPSC. Today in this video format, I am going to discuss merger of banks, which is a potential question for the coming BPSC mains exam. So let's see what we can find in this video. So starting with this year 2020, the biggest consolidation exercise in the banking sector was done in India by amalgamating 10 public sector banks or PSBs into 4 banks on April 1. Banks are the backbone of any economy, we know very well. They play a vital role in economic development and provide financial facilities to individuals, companies, government, or any sector in need. How much a nation is economically developed can be understood by knowing the financial status of its banks. We know very well India is a developing nation and has seen the growth of banking industry since the day of its independence. However, the origin of Indian banks dates back to the 18th century. The General Bank of India and the Hindustan Bank were the first banks which came into existence during the British rule. However, now these banks no more exist. So यहाँ से आप ये प्रीक्वेशंस बन सकते हैं कि ओके द जनरल बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एंड द हिंदुस्तान बैंक वर द फर्स्ट बैंक्स ऑफ इंडिया जो कि अब नहीं है दे नो मोर एग्जिस्ट. The State Bank of India is the oldest existing bank. You must be aware of this bank, that is the SBI or State Bank of India. So this is India's oldest existing bank, and it was called the Imperial Bank of India, which was a merger of three banks, namely the Bank of Calcutta, the Bank of Bombay एंड द बैंक ऑफ मद्रास. तो आप इसे भी याद रखें कि ओके स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया जो बनाई गई थी वो तीन बैंक को मर्ज करके बनाई गई थी. बैंक ऑफ कलकत्ता, बैंक ऑफ बॉम्बे एंड बैंक ऑफ मद्रास को मर्ज कर एसबीआई को इस्टेब्लिश किया गया था. नाउ इन पास्ट इट वाज सीन अ गुड नंबर ऑफ बैंक्स बीइंग ऑपरेटेड इन इंडिया according to the need of time and on the recommendations of financial committees, especially those of Narsimhan Committee 1991-92. Indian government has been taking a number of measures to boost the economy of the nation. So आप इस कमेटी का भी नाम जरूर जिक्र करें whenever you get a chance to write an answer on this economic bank type of questions. Narsimhan Committee. Those measures include merger of banks, nationalization of banks, and others. So let's see what is the present situation. Last year in August 2019, the Finance Minister of India, Nirmala Sitharaman, announced a series of measures to boost the economy of India. The amalgamation of 10 PSBs or public sector banks into 4 banks was one of those measures. So आप इसे याद रखें कि लास्ट ईयर निर्मला सीतारमन जो हमारी फाइनेंस मिनिस्टर हैं उन्होंने ये अनाउंस किया था. According to the government, this was decided to create big next generation banks. Creating large entities will make the Indian banks capable of meeting the higher funding needs of the economy and will help in acquiring the global scale. So banks को मर्ज किया गया ताकि जो हाई फंडिंग नीड्स हैं उसे पूर्ति की जा सके और एक ग्लोबल लेवल पे वर्ल्ड लेवल पे बैंक को रिकग्निशन मिल सके, रिकॉग्नाइज किया जा सके. Consequently, the largest ever merger in the public sector banking space in India has taken place on April 1, 2020, when 10 PSBs were merged into 4 large banks in order to make them globally competitive. You must be seeing, I am repeating again and again, okay, 10 PSBs were merged into 4 large banks. तो आप इसे याद रखें 10 PSB को 4 large banks में amalgamate किया गया है, कंसोलिडेट किया गया है. So you just take it as a note. In a merger, there is an anchor bank and an amalgamating bank or banks where the latter gets merged with the former. That means small banks जो merge होते हैं उन्हें हम amalgamating bank कहेंगे और जिसमें merge होंगे उन्हें हम anchor bank कहेंगे. So as per the मेगा कंसोलिडेशन प्लान जो अभी कंसोलिडेट किया गया है उसके अनुसार क्या है कि ओके ओरिएंटल बैंक ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड यूनाइटेड बैंक ऑफ इंडिया हैव बीन मर्ज्ड इनटू पीएनबी और पंजाब नेशनल बैंक, सिंडिकेट बैंक इनटू केनरा बैंक, आंध्रा बैंक एंड कारपोरेशन बैंक इनटू यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एंड अलाहाबाद बैंक इनटू इंडियन बैंक. अच्छा हुआ इलाहाबाद बैंक को इंडियन बैंक में कन्वर्ट कर दिया गया, नहीं तो पता चलता कि इलाहाबाद बैंक प्रयागराज बैंक हो गया। दिस इज जस्ट अ जोक, दिस इज जस्ट फॉर फन। ओके, सो इलाहाबाद बैंक इनटू इंडियन बैंक। So well friends, these kind of changes have been done. Okay, so अब जो है पंजाब ओरिएंट ओबीसी दैट इज ओरिएंटल बैंक ऑफ कॉमर्स एंड यूनाइटेड बैंक ऑफ इंडिया जो है वो पीएनबी उसका एंकर बैंक हो गया। सिंडिकेट बैंक के लिए केनरा बैंक, आंध्रा बैंक एंड कारपोरेशन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया के लिए यूनियन बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एंड इलाहाबाद बैंक के लिए इंडियन बैंक। Well, the next, after this recent consolidation, the number of PSBs in India has come down to 12. So, अभी जो है पब्लिक सेक्टर बैंक्स कितने हो गए इंडिया में, तो दैट इज 12. Well, there came also a change in banking order. For example, PNB is now India's second largest public sector bank. इसके पहले, before this amalgamation, Bank of Baroda was the second largest PSB in India after SBI. So सबसे largest public sector bank कौन है? SBI, that is स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंडिया। और इस एमलगमेशन के पहले कौन थी? बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा सेकेंड नंबर पे। बट जैसे इसे बैंक को कंसोलिडेट किया गया, मर्ज किया गया, उसके बाद पीएनबी जो है वो इंडिया सेकेंड लार्जेस्ट पीएसबी अभी है, बन चुका है। Well, this is not important, but if you can keep in your mind, just have it. Just have a look the list of PSB after amalgamation in descending order of their business size. Okay, so the first number, SBI, State Bank of India. This is the largest PSB. The second one, PNB. I've just indicated here, PNB plus OBC plus UBI. OBC, that is Oriental Bank of Commerce, and UBI, United Bank of India. Well, at third, that is Bank of Baroda, जो कि पहले सेकंड पे था. At fourth, Canara Bank along with Syndicate Bank. At fifth, Union Bank plus Andhra Bank plus Corporation Bank. Sixth number, Bank of India. At seventh, Indian Bank plus Allahabad Bank. Eighth, Central Bank of India. 9, Indian Overseas Bank. At 10, UCO Bank. At 11, Bank of Maharashtra. At 12, Punjab and Sindh Bank. So friends, here's a list of 12 PSBs. So आप इसे देखें, but if you can keep in your mind, that's good, but it's not necessary to write in your answer. Okay, so just mention कि okay, after this amalgamation, PNB is at second. Earlier it was Bank of Baroda. Canara Bank came at number 4. So just you can give some kind of information, but it's not necessary to write all these 12 PSBs. Well, the next we are going to see why merging of banks. क्यों banks को क्यों merge किया जा रहा है, क्यों उसे amalgamate करने की क्या ज़रूरत है? Well, so the first, to make banks globally competitive. Second, to meet the higher funding needs of an economy. हम लोगों ने already देख चुका है. Next, third, to boost economic growth of a nation. To revive non-performing banks और non-efficient banks. जो बैंक अच्छे से परफॉर्म नहीं कर रही है, जो प्रॉफिट ओरिएंटेड नहीं बन पा रही है, तो उसे सेव करने के लिए उस बैंक को रिवाइव करने के लिए मर्ज किया जाता है. नेक्स्ट, टू बेल आउट और सपोर्ट फाइनेंशियली द वीकर बैंक्स. टू प्रोटेक्ट द इंटरेस्ट ऑफ कस्टमर्स फ्रॉम अ फेलिंग बैंक. ऑब्वियसली यदि कोई बैंक फेल हो रहा है तो उसके कस्टमर्स के इंटरेस्ट को सेव करना है, प्रोटेक्ट करना है, ये गवर्नमेंट की रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है. सो फॉर दिच काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स मर्जिंग टेक्स प्लेस. सो वेल, नेक्स्ट वी मूव टूवर्ड्स बैकग्राउंड और हिस्ट्री ऑफ मर्जर्स इन इंडियन बैंकिंग. देखते हैं क्या हिस्ट्री रही है इंडियन बैंकिंग में. इसके पहले जो अभी तो ओके 10 PSB को 4 में मर्ज कर दिया गया, तो इसके पहले देखते हैं क्या रही इंडिया की हिस्ट्री. सो वेल, मर्जर्स ऑफ बैंक्स began in India in the 1960s to support the weaker banks and protect the customer interests. So ये जर्नी जो है 1960 से शुरू हो चुकी है. Well, I've divided into years. So let's see here, from 1961 to 1969, as many as 46 mergers took place, mostly of private sector banking, in order to revive the poorly performing banks. And the mergers proved to be quite a successful move for the underperforming banks. सो फ्रेंड्स 1961 से 1969 के ड्यूरेशन में लगभग 46 मर्जर्स किए गए बैंक में, और ये बेसिकली जो है वो प्राइवेट बैंकिंग सेक्टर में किया गया. और इसके रिजल्ट काफ़ी अच्छे रहे हैं. So well, you just note that 14 private banks were nationalized in India in 1969. ये एक ऐसी डेट मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा है, आप इसे ध्यान रखें कि 1969 में 14 प्राइवेट बैंक्स को नेशनलाइज कर दिया गया था. Well, the next, from 1969 to 1991, almost 13 mergers took place and those are mostly between public and private sector banks. तो फर्स्ट स्टेज में क्या था कि ओके, मैक्सिमम जो थे वो प्राइवेट सेक्टर बैंक्स थे, लेकिन 1969 से जो 1991 के बीच में हुआ, इसमें पब्लिक और प्राइवेट दोनों के बीच में मर्जिंग किए गए. वेल, दिस टाइम 6 private banks were nationalized in 1980. And 1991 was the year of economic reform in India, where a number of measures were taken to make the economy strong. Well, LPG or liberalization, privatization, and globalization were part of this economic reform. ये एक बड़ी रिफॉर्म थी इकोनॉमिक फील्ड में इंडिया के लिए 1991 में. Well, from 1991 to 2015, as many as 22 mergers took place, some to save weaker banks and some for the sake of collaborative business growth. Well, some examples we can see, because मैं यहाँ पे इसका examples दे दूँ कि ये latest है. So let's see. New Bank of India was merged with PNB in 1993. Global Trust Bank was merged with Oriental Bank of Commerce in 2004. Banaras State Bank Limited was merged with Bank of Baroda in 2002. Well, so this kind of things happened between 1991 to 2015. So well, friends, next move, SBI. Let's talk about State Bank of India. So SBI first merged State Bank of Saurashtra with itself in 2008, and 2 years later in 2010, State Bank of Indore was merged with it. ओके, सो आप इसे याद रखिए कि एसबीआई सबसे पहले 2008 में बैंक ऑफ सौराष्ट्र को अपने मर्ज किया, एंड 2 साल बाद दैट इज इन 2010 स्टेट बैंक ऑफ इंदौर भी एसबीआई के साथ मर्ज की गई. वेल, अमेलगमेशन ऑफ सेंचुरियन बैंक ऑफ पंजाब लिमिटेड विथ एचडीएफसी टुक प्लेस इन 2008. एचडीएफसी के साथ इस बैंक को भी मर्ज किया गया. वेल, आईएनएस व्यासा बैंक मर्ज विथ कोटक महिंद्रा इन 2014. Bhartiya Mahila Bank and 5 associates of the SBI were amalgamated into SBI on April 1, 2017. ओके, तो आप SBI के सीरीज को एटलीस्ट ध्यान में रखें कि भारतीय महिला बैंक और उसके 5 एसोसिएट्स भी मर्ज किए गए SBI में. कब? 2017 में, दैट इज ऑन April 1. Well, last year we have seen Dena Bank and Vijaya Bank were merged with Bank of Baroda, that is from April 1, 2019. सो आप इसे भी ध्यान रखें. अब जब आंसर लिखें तो आप एटलीस्ट लास्ट ईयर और एसबीआई के एग्जांपल्स को जरूर लिखने की कोशिश करें. वेल, सो आफ्टर दिस कंसोलिडेशन ऑफ बैंक्स ऑन April 1, 2020, there are now 12 PSBs that we have already seen the list of 12 PSBs. Well, out of these 12 PSBs, 6 merged banks and 6 independent banks. I mean कि ये जो 12 PSBs हैं, इसमें 6 मर्ज्ड बैंक्स हैं एंड 6 इंडिपेंडेंट बैंक्स हैं जिसमें किसी भी बैंक का मर्जिंग नहीं किया गया है. तो 6 मर्ज्ड बैंक्स आर SBI, बैंक ऑफ बड़ौदा, PNB, केनरा बैंक, UBI एंड इंडियन बैंक. वेल, 6 इंडिपेंडेंट बैंक्स आर इंडियन ओवरसीज बैंक, यूको बैंक, बैंक ऑफ महाराष्ट्र, पंजाब एंड सिंध बैंक, बैंक ऑफ इंडिया एंड सेंट्रल बैंक ऑफ इंडिया. सो दीज आर द लिस्ट. You also keep in your mind कि these are 6 merged bank and 6 independent bank. Well, friends, as we are talking about the merging of banks, so let's talk about the advantages of bank mergers. What are those advantages after merging banks? So well, the first, larger bank is capable of facing global competition, definitely. Well, a large bank can manage its short and long term liquidity better. There will not be any need for overnight borrowings in call money market and from the RBI. Obviously एक बड़े बैंक है तो उसके पास ज़्यादा कैपिटल कैपेसिटी है, so they can manage its short and long term liquidity in an efficient way. Well, the next, with the larger capital base and higher liquidity, The burden on the central government to recapitalize the PSBs again and again comes down substantially. Exactly. छोटे बैंक होते हैं, जो भी प्रॉब्लम आती है पैसे की, तो सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को रिकैपिटलाइज करना पड़ता है। लार्ज बड़े बैंक हैं तो बड़े बैंक के पास बड़ी कैपिटल बेस है, हायर लिक्विडिटी है, काफ़ी लोगों का उसमें ट्रस्ट है, काफ़ी कस्टमर्स हैं उनके पास। सो गवर्नमेंट का एक बर्डन कम हो जाता है कि ओके, बार बार उन बैंकों को रिकैपिटलाइज करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ती है। वेल, द नेक्स्ट advantage we can see in the global market, the Indian banks gain greater recognition and higher rating. Yeah, it's good point. The amalgamating banks get a number of products and services from the larger bank. This promotes an integrated growth of the banking sector in India. Obviously, this happens. A large bank has a number of products and services when we compare with the smaller bank. Well, the next, it reduces the cost of banking operation, improves the professional standards by using the expertise of large banks. A big brand attracts customers, empowers business, increase the market share, etc. There can be better NPA, that is non performing asset, and risk मैनेजमेंट। अभी NPA का इशू भी चल रहा है, तो बड़े बैंक जो है इसे दे कैन एग्जीक्यूट इन अ गुड मैनर। The financial products and services of larger banks become available in more geographical regions due to the combined presence of larger and small banks. That's fine. Chances of survival of underperforming banks increases, and customers' trust remains intact, which are vital for the economy. So, well, friends, these were the advantages because of the merging of banks. Now, let's see what are those problems which arise due to mergers and acquisitions. So, let's see what are those problems. What problems can be there? Okay, problems are generally more emotional and social in nature than technical or managerial. Let's see how. Banks are merged only on papers. Okay, it takes time or even difficult to change the people and working culture of amalgamating banks. Definitely it happens everywhere. जब हम किसी दूसरे जगह पे जाते हैं तो एडजस्ट करने में टाइम लगती है, बिकॉज माई वर्किंग कल्चर इज डिफरेंट फ्रॉम द others. Thinking perspectives and risk taking abilities of different organizations are difficult. So, in decision making, it leads to friction and rift, which, if not managed well, may lead to the downfall of the organization as a whole. Well, next, risk of failure increases if the executives are not committed enough in bringing the merger platforms together for the merging and taking over bank. Next, according to the view of Managing Director of Federal Bank, V.A. Joseph, coexistence of the big, medium, and small banks would be preferable in the present scenario. He says that most acquisitions in India were born out of compulsions, and over 90% of past acquisitions had failed to meet the objectives. So, keep, if possible, try to write these words of V.A. Joseph. Okay. Well, the next, during the global financial crisis, large banks had collapsed while smaller ones had survived the crisis due to their strengths and focus on micro aspects. This is again an important point, that during the global financial crisis, large banks failed, but a smaller bank survived. Well, the next, with the merger, the weaknesses of the small banks are also transferred to the bigger banks. ये भी एक प्रॉब्लम है कि जो स्मॉल बैंक है, जो वीकनेस है, वो अब उन्हें बड़े जो बैंक है उनके पास भी जो ट्रांसफ़र हो जाएगी. So far, small scale losses and recapitalization could revive the capital base of a small banks. Now, if the giant shaped bank books huge loss or incurs high NPAs, as it has been incurring, it will be difficult for the entire banking system to sustain. हमने अभी देखा था एक इसके पॉजिटिव एस्पेक्ट्स में कि ओके, हमें गवर्नमेंट को अगेन एंड अगेन रिकैपिटलाइज करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, लेकिन यहाँ पे हम लोग देखते हैं कि ओके, छोटे स्केल पे लॉसेस हो तो उसे रिकैपिटलाइज किया जा सकता है, बट यदि ये बड़े बैंक बनते, इनमें कोई प्रॉब्लम हो, तो इनको रिकैपिटलाइज करना एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम बन जाएगी. So now we see what can be the impact of the merger on customers, because retail customers of the amalgamating banks are directly affected whereas customers of the anchor bank are not likely to face much change. We will see how. However, shareholders of all banks involved in these mergers are bound to be impacted. Let's see a few significant impacts on customers of amalgamating bank or banks. Well, starting with account numbers, IFSC codes, customer IDs will change. So customers को change करवाने होंगे. All accounts will be tagged to a single ID. That means if one has an account with OBC, that is Oriental Bank of Commerce, and also with UBI, that is United Bank of India, तो चूंकि अब ये PNB से merged हो गया, then the two accounts will be allotted a single customer ID of PNB. तो ये एक समस्या है कस्टमर्स के सामने. For auto credits and debits, a customer will be required to change the details of bank account with the anchor bank. The next, there will be access to a large number of ATMs. Okay, मैं पॉजिटिव नेगेटिव सभी एक मिक्स कर दिया हूँ. There will be access to a large number of ATMs. अब सपोज कि आई हैव माई अकाउंट इन इलाहाबाद बैंक और अब ये इंडियन बैंक में मर्ज हो चुका है, तो जितने भी ATM मैं तो इलाहाबाद बैंक के जितने भी ATM है उसे तो मैं यूज कर ही सकता हूँ. नाउ आई कैन ऑल्सो यूज द ATMs ऑफ इंडियन बैंक. सो एक ज़्यादा नंबर में ATMs को मैं यूज कर सकता हूँ, एक्सेस कर सकता हूँ without any fine. Well, a customer won't enjoy the facility of more bank branches in the same locality. That means an amalgamating bank branch will be shut if the anchor bank branches has its own branch in the same vicinity. So that's not good for a customer. Well, checkbooks need to be changed. Checkbook को change करनी होगी. While the existing checkbooks remain valid for some time, ultimately they have to be replaced with the checkbooks of the anchor bank. चेकबुक को भी चेंज सभी चीज़ें चेंज करानी होगी एंकर बैंक के साथ. Well, the credit or debit cards need to be exchanged for those of the merged entity. However, these cards remain valid for the interim period to ensure no disruption in services. ये एक अच्छी पॉइंट है. डेबिट और क्रेडिट कार्ड में जितने भी डेट लिखी हुई रहती है, एक्सपायरी डेट, वो तब तक वो वैलिड रह सकती है, डेबिट कार्ड और क्रेडिट कार्ड्स. Well, the next, customers of amalgamating banks are benefited when the anchor bank's MCLR, that is marginal cost of funds based lending rate, is less than that of those banks. तो ये बेनिफिट होता है यहाँ पे कस्टमर्स को जो amalgamating बैंक के होते हैं. However, there is nothing to the customers of the anchor bank. Anchor बैंक के जो कस्टमर्स उन्हें कोई प्रॉफिट नहीं होना जाता है. So friends, what is MCLR? Then MCLR is the minimum interest rate that a bank can lend at. So यहाँ पे प्रॉब्लम ये है कि सपोज मैं इलाहाबाद बैंक से लोन लेता हूँ, वहाँ पे मुझे एक इंटरेस्ट रेट जितनी भी लग रही है, और अब जो मर्ज हो चुकी है इंडियन बैंक है और इंडियन बैंक में MCLR जो है वो कम है, तो मुझे यहाँ पे फ़ायदा होगा क्योंकि मुझे जो लोन जो मैं लिया हूँ तो उस पर इंटरेस्ट मुझे कम देने होंगे अब. So friends, these are the things that we have to keep in mind about the merger of banks. This is a current topic, and this question on this topic can be asked in BPSC mains exam. So be ready with that. So while concluding, let's see. Mergers are important for the consolidation and expansion purpose. That is why in today's scenario, many private sector banks are also genuinely interested in merger and acquisition. Well, merger also creates a variety of problems which can cause great damages if the process of merging is not executed properly. If merging is needed, it must be executed in a manner which leads to an environment of trust and agreement among the people of both the organization. This is very important कि दोनों ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के ट्रस्ट और एग्रीमेंट्स को अच्छे तरीके से होने चाहिए. If people work culture and visions are blended together nicely, merging will definitely have synergic effects and create a win-win situation for the economy of a nation. So these were the points, friends, about merger of banks. I hope you liked this video, and if this is the case, like this video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you very much. See you in next video.